This is Wembley Stadium. My name's Barry Gardner and I'm the MP for this area, Brent North. Wembley, of course, is the scene of our greatest footballing victory in 1966, but it's also the scene of the British National Party's biggest mistake when they dared to come here into Brent to badmouth the people of Brent. And that's why we're here today, to make sure that we show people what Brent's really like and don't take any more rubbish from the British National Party. I'm here with Terry Payne. Terry, you've lived in this borough, what, pretty much all your life, haven't you?
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw those idiots coming in here and saying all that?
Well, that was disgusting, you know. I mean, they're my friends, I get on with them all. And except for a few people you might not, but you know, I mean, I've been here, what, 70 years, and it has changed over the years for the better. We all thriving borough this is, and it's really nice. I go to football up the road at Arsenal, you know, 60 years now. And,
60 years supporting Arsenal.
And look how that's changed. Black players are a good team now, really good. And that's because of black players. How can they come along and say things like this?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
No, it's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just wanted to show you this because this is part of the original Olympic Games diary. When Britain played football, a British team, not England, a British team played football in the Olympics in 1936 against Germany. Now, in there, my dad was part of that team. There he is, Jackie Gardiner. And the interesting thing is, you know, that team, when they went into the stadium in Berlin, they were one of the only teams that didn't give the Nazi salute. The British team refused to give the Nazi salute to Hitler, so the BNP picked on exactly the wrong place and exactly the wrong bloke to come here and start spouting off their Nazi regime here, okay? Because we know that that's what we were fighting in the war. Absolutely, it was against Hitler and it was against all the racist twaddle that people like the BNP spout. Tony, you're another very long-standing resident of Brent. What did you think when you heard all this BNP twaddle?
Well, 26 years I've been living around Brent, but I remember before the war, Mosley and his gang of black shirts parading around Brighton, and well, I joined the Air Force during the war to fight against that sort of thing, and I'm ready to fight against it now. Raising its ugly head in Wembley.
Excellent. Well, we'll all be fighting with you. That's great. Pauline, again, you know Brent like the back of your hand. What do you feel about the changes in the borough over the years?
Well, certainly I was born here 82 years ago and I came back to live here 30 years ago, and that's when the changes began. First of all, they were pulling the old towers down. I thought that was terrible because I loved the old stadium. But then the new stadium came and that was good. But then all the changes that have come since then have all made Wembley a much more exciting place to live in. I mean, I love living in this multicultural area. You know, I've got in the flats where I live, I've got neighbours from 6 different nations. Yeah. And it's fantastic, all the different foods I eat. I mean, I've learned to eat all sorts of things, and they're so good. And particularly, I find they're so good to old people. They look after me so well.
That's right, actually, because there's a real culture in some of these communities of respect for older people and of making sure that the family unit is looked after and taken care of.
And yes, and of course the church where I was baptised, the Park Lane Wembley, it's now full. I mean, it's a flourishing church, as is the church I go to at Harvard. But if the BNP start saying send the blacks home, our churches will be empty. No, I think it's fantastic. They brought such a spirituality, such a faith, such an energy to life. I think it's been a great thing for Wembley, and I was horrified here that the BNP was castigating Brent. You know, it's the best place possible to live now.
Wonderful. Pauline, thanks very much indeed. Hi, I'm here now with Aisha Hodabed, And behind us, we have the Muslim Welfare Association. And you may remember that in that BNP video, those guys, they came and they focused on that sign. But you know what? They didn't have the guts to go back behind the sign and find out what actually went on in the Muslim Welfare Association. So here, Aisha's with us now. She's going to just tell us, Aisha, it was your dad who was one of the founders of that association, wasn't it?
Yes.
What did you feel when you saw these guys traducing your dad's life's work?
Well, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they didn't bother to find out what we actually do behind the scenes. We care for our elderly, we care for our sick, we care for our needy, we care for our children. I mean, it's just horrific to see that some people are so small-minded.
It does get you, doesn't it? Because they don't take the trouble to think, well, are these good things that you're doing?
Exactly.
I mean, it's not the Muslim Bad Fair Association. It's, this isn't, the way they were presenting it, you'd think this was some bomb-making factory.
Exactly.
Instead of it being about caring for people in the community.
That's
but I
it.
mean, look, let's just get it clear so that even the stupidest signed up member of that organization can understand.
Yeah.
You don't just care for Muslims either, do you?
No, we care for all ethnicities, people from all races. I mean, my father was from India, my mother's from England. My dad worked for the National Health Service for 30 odd years. He didn't care that he was looking after people from different races. He came from another country to help people in this country.
Exactly. I mean, really, what the BNP did was absolutely laughable. And the people of Brent just think that you are so stupid to have come here and taken us on in this way. Because we know who we are in Brent. We actually get on very well with each other. And the fact that your guy had to stand down that road talking in Welsh because he was afraid of us.
They didn't even have the guts to speak in English.
Exactly. I mean, what a complete moronic thing to do. That he felt that he was actually in danger by talking in English on the street here. Madness, isn't it?
Definitely.
But do we think do we take them seriously, or do we think they are simply a joke?
Of course not. They're doing it to get a reaction. And in Brent, they're not going to get that reaction from us.
Absolutely. Aisha, thanks. Lovely to see
Thank you.
Okay, all the best. Panna, it was you that first brought the BNP video to my attention. Do you normally spend your weekends surfing the BNP website? I can't imagine that somehow.
No, I don't actually. It's my sister actually found that link on Facebook on her friend's profile, and she sent it to me, and I had a look and reading all the comments, and I literally just said, send that to Barry. We as an Asian community, we contribute quite a lot to the UK economy, not only through our business. I mean, I work for family business, and we contribute a lot, but through
How many
community
people
work.
do you employ in your business?
We have about 270 people,
Wow.
and they're all from different backgrounds.
Yeah. The other thing about certainly the Asian community and the Hindu community is not just the way in which you contribute to the economy, but actually the way in which there really is a culture, an ethos within the community about contributing to charities and to society at large. And of course none of that was shown.
Nothing. I mean, if you go, a lot of Asian businesses do contribute to international charities, but also to British-born charities, which benefit the British people here. And no, they didn't show nothing. They just they were showing the wrong side of the community, which was wrong, because they should actually look into the Asian community as a whole and see that we as Asians, we actually work together at times when it comes to a lot of charity events, even community events. You see a Hindu and a Muslim working together, and that's more important.
Arjan, you are one of those key leaders of the Asian community in this country. You are the president of the Hindu Forum of Britain. And of course, we know that this video that the BNP did focused on the Muslim community. But how did you feel about this? What was your sense of what they were trying to portray?
I think they were, the way they started, they came from Wembley High Road and they went on to Ealing Road. And Ealing Road is multicultural.
Yeah.
they're all background Asians, they're business, shopping people around, living around that area. And to isolate the Muslim community in that manner is reflecting on every ethnic minority group in this country. And I think this is something we cannot tolerate in multicultural Britain.
Do you think that really part of the way in which the BNP is trying to divide the communities at the moment, do you think that has to do with the recession and people needing to see a scapegoat in all of this?
Totally, I agree with that, because this is the reason they're focusing on immigrant communities, and especially Muslims and Indians and Asians. But they are not showing the positive sides, the contribution this immigrant community make to the economy of this country. And if they want to show, they rather show a balanced view and let people judge, and not them just saying this is what it is and one-sided story. They're not engaging with the debate as well. So if they want, they should invite right-minded people to say, right, these are our questions, now you tell us. So that engagement, then the truth will come out. At the moment, it's a very one-sided story.
Well, it's now Monday morning and we're back in the Palace of Westminster. It's been very interesting over the weekend. I'm delighted to say that the FA, good on them, they have got their lawyers onto the BNP, onto YouTube, and they've forced YouTube to take down the video that was showing Wembley Stadium, because of course the FA owned the rights to Wembley Stadium. So that's been a real positive. I have to say, over the weekend, the BNP have put up another website. This time it's a page on their fanzine that is devoted to myself. It's pretty nasty, it's pretty abusive. It uses some vile language that I can't possibly repeat. That's pretty nasty stuff. But actually none of that is as nasty as the quotation that they have up there from a man who is the BNP treasurer and the senior advisor to Nick Griffin, a man called John Walker. This is what he said on that website in response to my challenge to them, to the BNP, to put up or shut up, to come and fight in Brent North at the next general election. He said this: "There would be little point in us challenging a seat in Wembley, because as far as we're concerned, places like that are completely lost. But quite honestly, he can keep it. It's not part of Britain." There you have it. That's what the BNP think about Wembley. Simply, it is not part of Britain. Well, the people that we've heard on this video live in Wembley. We all think otherwise. Wembley is absolutely part of Britain. It's part of the very best in Britain. It's a community that is vibrant. It's a community that welcomes all sorts of people from all parts of the globe. We revel in that diversity. These people are ordinary people in Brent North, but special in their own way, because they know how to live together. They know how to cooperate. They know how to work with each other. And that really is the very best of Britain.